Can I ask you just to write down 5 key headings that you would want to bring into a question about leadership?
So, accountability. I think treating people individually.
OK.
Target.
Communication.
Using the headings, Mike can structure an answer more clearly.
I'm going to ask you to do me a favour.
Sure.
Can I ask you to stand up?
Sure.
I want you to move from here, moving through to here, and you put these more or less together.
OK.
I want you to structure an answer for me. Talk to me about your leadership within school.
I think it's important to know exactly who you're leading, making sure that you understand what makes them tick. That will allow you to kind of get down to what will help them. Talking to those people, making sure that you've communicated as effectively as you can with them so that you're both on the same wavelength. And then working towards some sort of target, some sort of accountability for those targets, and perhaps having used the data available to us from the school to show them why these targets are appropriate to them.
OK. How did that process feel for you?
Yeah, that was really good. That made it very clear, actually. OK, thanks very much.
Now it's Rebecca's turn. It was nerves that let her down.
Can I ask you to stand up? Do you mind?
Yeah.
Let's take a situation that actually this pillar here is you have utmost belief in yourself.
Right.
And that job you're going to is yours.
OK.
Working down here towards this pillar, where you walked in that room and you thought, I can't do this. Where would you put yourself between those 2 pillars on today's interview?
I would say I was probably 50-50.
OK.
Yeah.
OK.
About
Right.
50-50.
What do we need to do to move you up that way?
I've got to believe in myself more.
OK.
Yeah.
So why don't you believe in yourself?
Having been in the same school for a long time, it's about knowing that what I do now and what I want to do, I'm actually able to do somewhere else.
OK. So do you believe you've got that ability?
Yeah.
So can we take one step up then?
OK.
Yeah?
Yeah.
OK. What else have you got?
I've got experience. I've got a lot of experience as well.
Brilliant. OK. How do you feel now? Take another step up. So we suddenly moved from halfway to here. Keep going. This is good.
I've got drive and passion as well.
Superb. Fantastic. Take another step up.
And I've got ideas. I like to think outside of the box. Quite experimental and new ideas.
What you just shared with me is all the skills that you needed to walk into that room with the confidence to say, this is my job. So where are you going to stand now?
Step one more up.
Are you?
It's the post.
OK.
Now, can Rebecca think of 5 key words to describe her strengths?
Say the first word.
Passion.
Show me. How are you going to sit?
I think I've got to sit back a bit more, maybe.
OK. What's the next word?
Drive.
How are you going to sit?
I think sit up a little bit more.
Oh, sit up. Sit. OK. What else?
Hard working.
Look at the way your shoulders now, so keep going. What else?
Okay. Inclusive.
Look at the way you put your hands.
Yeah.
All inclusive.
And then the last word, supportive.
Don't stop. Don't move. Just turn your eyes now and look in the mirror.
Right.
How does that look?
I suppose before I was sitting forward a lot more, now I'm sitting back, more powerful in a way, you know, in control and confident.
You've just shared with me the fact that actually you have all the skills necessary to take on a senior leadership position. So tell me why you were ever going to worry again about going into an interview.
When you put it like that, then maybe I shouldn't be worried. It's, you know, it is about having that belief and being secure in that knowledge that that's what I believe in. And I can't think of anything to argue with you about on that now.
Go! After the tension of the interview process, Mike has been unwinding on the beach and working on the strategies Simon gave him.
I've been preparing for my next interview. I've been speaking to various assistant heads at school and making sure that I'm filling those gaps in knowledge. I've made a series of cards on each topic, so I'm able to walk through the answers to any question that comes up. So all in all, I think I've got a reason to feel a little bit more confident going into that next week.
I found the coaching really useful. It made me really reflect on the whole package for interviews, not just about answering the questions, but the way I present myself. Also the words that I was given, trying to just go through those words and think about them and just keep remembering that they're my strengths and things that I think are really strong. just recapping over those makes you feel a lot better about yourself and makes you believe in yourself.
It's the day of the second interview. Our expert panel are back to judge Mike and Rebecca's performance. Are they ready for senior leadership?
When I sit down, I will be thinking about, making sure that I am sitting up straight, I've got my shoulders back, having those words go through my head again.
I'm feeling rather more confident now. I feel like I've filled in the gaps in knowledge. I'm ready to face the panel.
Hi, Mike. Welcome.
Nice to see you again.
How would you evolve a monitoring system using data to improve student attainment?
When we're looking at data, you've got to look at the attainment and the achievement of the pupils. So you've got to look at what they're...
What's the difference between attainment and achievement, then?
So essentially their attainment is the eventual grades they're going to come out with, their data, and the achievement is relative to their progress. So you're looking at what they came in with at Key Stage 2 and what they're moving forward to, and the difference between the two.
Share with us one example of a school initiative that you yourself have been involved in.
A school initiative, a teaching and learning initiative we looked at this year was about introducing risk into the school. It emerged that students were getting a little bit bored with a formulaic approach to lessons. There was nothing to excite them. And so we've been encouraging staff to take on more and more risks, to try out activities they haven't tried before, to have a go at something. And to that effect, I've been producing some resources. I've been gathering resources from other staff who've tried ideas, and they're all now stored centrally, and I'm hearing back from staff and from students on a regular basis as to how they're progressing with those risk activities.
If we were to offer you the position of assistant head, what would you do within your first 20 days?
Wow. Presidents get 100 days, don't they? In terms of taking on any leadership position, you have to show that you're a good communicator, show that you get yourself known to the team, make the team aware that you're available and you're approachable and that they can come and talk to you for positive or negative reasons and such like. So I would like to show myself as a good role model, but, starting to delegate tasks and to show that I was able to hold people accountable.
Thank you very much,
That's
Mike.
a pleasure. Thanks very much. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Now Rebecca. Is she feeling more confident?
So a scenario for you. It's your first day in the job and you arrive to find that the head has flown off to Rio with the business manager taking all of the school budget with them.
Okay.
What are the first 3 things you'd have to do?
I would have to contact the chairman of the governors. I would also have to inform the borough and get in contact with the LEA, inform them. And the third thing I believe I'd have to do is probably contact the police.
OK, thank you.
What frustrates you most in your job as a leader from day to day, on a day-to-day basis?
I think for me it comes back to the students again, not the students frustrating me, but sometimes where I feel that we're not always doing enough to support them and to develop them and take them on that journey in education, and where we don't all work together to do that. We don't bring everyone together and work as a team.
What one example of a whole school initiative have you been part of and have led?
At present, a large piece of work that I'm working on is Year 10 and Year 11 interventions. So I've been responsible for collecting the raw data on those students and then around that planning interventions to match their needs. And I've led that at meetings and reporting back to the monitoring board as well on that.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
I think the interview went much better than last time. I felt a lot more confident. I felt like I was dressed for the part better. And so that helps me walking in there feel much more comfortable and up for the interview, really.
I think the interview went much better. I was much more confident with some of the answers I gave. I felt that I'd filled the gaps in knowledge. There was 1 or 2 things that still caught me out, but that's fair enough.
But does the panel think they've upped their game?
I'm glad to see between the previous interview and this interview that you've obviously done something on your knowledge base, but you've also developed a better way of answering questions. You've not waffled as much, and what you've done has been quite succinct in the answers. My concern is that you have never shown a departmental impact or a year impact, so you don't have anything that's proven just to you. Okay.
Thanks for that.
I thought your first interview was fine. I thought your second one was much better. You've clearly built on your knowledge base since last time, and also your warmth and your personality, which are two of your biggest assets, came across, and that's important. That's one of the things we're looking for. You injected some humour. You talked about President gets 100 days. Just be a little bit wary of making it sound too flip. It's a fine judgment, and you have to weigh up the panel as much as they weigh up you. But I was impressed. I'd like you to talk a little bit more about you. The things you do. I did this, I did that, I did this as part of a team, because it's you we're buying into in this interview. But well done.
You have a tendency under pressure to go fast. So my advice to you is to remember that that's where adrenaline pushes you, and to pause more. You have fillers that will suddenly come in and go, right, sure, okay, and there's a sort of, I feel there's a pressure for you to get into the answer. And I think you could afford to stop and really take in what the question is.
Thank you, Kevin.
Okay. Rebecca. Kevin, would you like to kick off?
You know your stuff. You know your stuff really well, and your empathy with the children and your passion for the job do come across to some extent. The first time round, there was a fair bit of waffle before we got to the meat. This time round, you're much bang, 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 and you got your answers in there. So again, well done.
Yes, I think it's a matter of confidence for you. And what I noticed in the second interview experience, I felt you had more of it. So whatever you were doing, it was working. I thought you smiled more, which was great. And there's something for me around just feeling it in your body, that confidence. I want you to allow yourself out, really, more. So big improvement, I felt.
Thank you.
Okay.
There's several different things that I think you need to consider. The first thing is I do think you're going to have to do a sideways move. Because you've got one school. On your CV, would this pass through a DH level? Probably not. Somewhere on this CV, you need to sell one thing. I have been kept in this school because I've been promoted again and again because of the qualities and the leadership that I show. Otherwise, they wouldn't have wanted to keep you. That is something you've got to sell on here, okay? When you come in for a headship interview, it's, do you look like you are the head? Okay, so if you walk in like that, no one's going to buy that. If you walk in like you own the place beforehand, that's what they're buying. They're buying the image, they're buying the way you dress, they're buying the way you look, they're buying the way you look at people.
It's the 5-second impact bit.
It is. This isn't about putting on a mask or a show that's not you. It's about finding out which costume basically fits you. And not copying anybody else. It's really about finding out, this is me and this is what I feel comfortable in.
You know, you've got a really lovely smile. My worry at interview with you would always be one thing, is he going to be too much of a nice guy? And I would. So you've got to come in with a bit of steel occasionally. Okay?
Well done.
Yeah,
well done.
Really well done.
I think I'm going to go away from this experience and be a lot more confident about interviews. I know that I would be able to do the job, and I know I'll do it well, so I feel very confident about that, and really know how to prepare myself better in the future.
It's been a great experience. I've really enjoyed myself. I think I've got a lot out of it. The feedback that came back to me was very useful. I can use it really well. Hopefully next time I go to interview, I'll be stronger than ever.
For further interview tips from the panel, see the web clips on the programme page at www.teachers.tv.